Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm just working on some Edith Holden ephemera this morning before I go to work. Well, I started working on it last night and I wanted to make a couple more pieces. So I'll show you what I did already. I cut out some pictures from the pages of an Edith Holden book, and what I did was pick out pages that that only had writing on the back. I didn't want to, sacrifice any pictures. So, yeah, I cut those images out here and made these little journaling cards. Just cut it out, glued down the image, distressed around, rounded the corners like on these, the journaling cards, and sewed with brown thread around. I thought brown thread went really well with them. This one is zigzag stitched, and this one is a tag. I added one of my homemade reinforcements on these two, and there's writing space on the back. And then these right here I made from index card divider cards. You can see the little letter tabs on the top here, but just cut out pictures and glue them down again. These two, see, I was trying to decorate them and I couldn't bring myself to cover up anything on here. Like, say I was trying to decorate this, where would I put a decoration? You could put one on here, but you'd be covering up something. I couldn't bring myself to cover up anything, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like covering up anything, so I didn't cover up anything. So so these same thing, I didn't put anything extra on here. I mean, isn't that pretty? They're just so pretty the way they are. I just can't help it. I don't want to cover up anything, right? So I managed to add something to these two, and you probably don't even notice it possibly, but I added a tiny little label right here. I have some little labels that I've cut out and I have ready to go, So I just dressed around the edges so you could see it. And then I just glued it down right there. So these two have a little label on them. So that's all I can manage to cover up. I just can't cover up anything else. So I thought I'd make a couple more with you all. So I have some bits and pieces here. I might have to cut up a new page. I don't know if I have enough to make, but this one will fit. I'm kind of using some that are not necessarily vertical type images that I can use for like taller tags and things, but I'm picking out horizontal, what I'm calling horizontal type images. So this one, goes all across the page, and I already used the bottom half. I think this was the bottom half here, I believe. Yeah, I think it was. Yep. Anyway, so that piece I use on here. So this is the top half of that page. So then I just cut it down to fit on here. And wherever I can, I don't cut off anything. Like, see all this blank space up here? And there's a little bit over here. So I just cut off the blank space first and go from there and try not to cut off any of the actual part of the picture. So let's just see if we can make a couple this morning before I have to get ready for work. Don't have a lot of time, but I just had so much fun, and I haven't had a few minutes this morning. So you can see the picture goes all the way to the bottom here, but there's a tiny bit of blank space up there. So let's see if that's enough so that we don't have to cut off the bottom at all. Let's just cut this blank part off here. I don't want to cut off any of that the word may there. So let's just see how we can do here. Just got to get it lined up right so I don't cut off any may, hopefully. I think I have it lined up right. Sometimes it's a little hard to see where you're cutting on your cutting board. Yep, I got it right, right on the line there. So that was good. Okay, so will that fit? See, I like it. See, I don't know if you can see it, but see how I have a little bit of the file folder showing around the edge? I really like that. Like, I don't need that on a tag. The tags I put right to the edge. I don't have any file folder showing. This is file folder on the back of these. But this, I just, for some reason, I just like that when it has that little edge. So here, I think we're good. We barely have a little edge on the top and the bottom, but we need more cut off the side here. So let me figure out, need to go to about right here, right there. Cut that off and see how that looks. Right there. About right there. Okay. Okay, that should do it. Yes, we have a little edge all the way around now. The top and the bottom are very small, but I don't want to cut off any, I can't cut off any more than May. I could cut off a sliver down here. Do I want to do that? You know, I don't think I need to. I think it's fine. I do have a little bit of an edge, like I said I wanted. So, you know, this piece is not big enough. I have a little few pieces that I'm saving, definitely saving. I mean, I'm saving every piece of my scraps here. These are all my little scraps from Edith Holden pages. I'm saving every piece because I love the font too. I love the words. So, you know, I might be able to use those somewhere. So all of this is going in my Edith Holden, special Edith Holden scraps. So you see how these are vertical? This is what I'm talking about. I could cut this right down the middle here and make two like tall tags. So I don't want to mess with that. Let's see. This one, I could cut this in half because we've got, if we cut it in half right here, we've got a pretty bunch, you know, on the bottom and a pretty bunch on the top. So this is a good, and this one has all writing on the back. That's what I'm talking about. I love the Edith Holden font, but if I'm going to sacrifice anything, it's going to be that and not anything like this. So let's go ahead and cut this one in half. Let's try it. It's kind of got already, it's kind of already divided for me, so that's kind of neat, and I don't have to waste anything. Okay, actually, let me see. I want to make the most out of this. Yeah, I can cut just above this pink flower here, and then I actually have enough on these two pieces for 2 cards. So I just got to cut in the right spot here, just above that pink flower. Okay, yeah, did it. See, so either piece we could use, I feel like I could use on here. Kind of, you know, I will end up using in both of them, but right now let's just use this one right here just for video purposes, to use this really pretty piece. So this is perfect. I can get a nice little edge here on the top and bottom. So I'll cut about right, I would say about right there. Just measuring with my card. And then see, I'm going to cut on my fold there. And that's just pretty much blank space there at the top. So I'm not really cutting off anything. Did I cut it straight? I think so. See, just blank space. Well, here I could save, this has the word May here. So I'll save that. I'll put that in my scraps. Now the sides. This is a rough edge where I took it out of the book. So I'm going to cut that off first. And then see what we need to cut off the other side. Okay. How does it fit? It's fitting good. And then this side is going to be just about perfect to cut off this blank edge over here and leave a little edge for ourselves and not cut off any pretty Edith Holden flowers. Let's see, do I have to? Oh, I put it way out of the I put it way up past the cutting line there. Okay. Okay. It almost looks too small, but it's going to be perfect because it's going to have a nice little edge around. Like that. And then this one, let's see. I got this one right already. So before I glue them down on here, since I have that little edge around, like on a journaling card, it goes right out to the edge. I cut them, you know, the file folder and the picture together, so the picture goes right out to the edge. So I ink after, but since these have that little edge, I'm inking before. So just going around quickly. I don't take a lot of time on edging, just kind of quickly go around like this with this little eyeshadow brush. Get a little bit on there. I want it to show so my edges don't look so newly cut, you know. It makes it look like it was like that already, like, oh, did it come like that? Was Edith Holden already inked around? And it kind of almost is, but it isn't. It's like when you look at the page, if you look at the whole page before you cut it, it almost looks like it's inked around. But since I'm cutting it, you know, kind of, if it had that look before, I've taken it off because I cut off all the edges. So then I've got to do it again if it had it before, if it even had it before. And it makes it stand out a little bit from the whatever you're putting it down on. And then I'm going to sew around it too, so that you have that decorative edge to the sewing. Because I don't know if I said it, but I'm using brown thread around the edge, you know, to sew around the edges of these. I just thought that would be really pretty on these Edith Holden pages. So then I'm just gluing them down and get these done real quick before I have to go get ready for work. Got a big old cup of coffee here. I have to take a drink in a second. But like I said, if you're not sewing them, just, you know, you get your glue on there real good and make sure all your edges are glued down. I am sewing, so I've just got enough. I've got plenty of glue on there really just to glue it down if I wanted to. But I am sewing around too, just for looks, but it doesn't, and then it does have that security of the sewing too, so. But you don't have to sew around these edges. Oh, and these I have some index cards that are really, these divider index cards that are super thick, like twice or 3 times as thick as this. I don't even know. Excuse me. I need to take a drink of coffee. I don't know if my sewing machine would even go through them, but these are thin enough. They're like a little bit like a thick file folder, I would say. I would describe them as. And I've already sewn on them. My sewing machine goes through these perfectly, you know, no problem. There you go. So those two are almost done after my sewing, but I do distress around the file folder too after I get the picture down. Let me take a sip of my coffee. So my voice doesn't get crazy here. It's just waking up. Waking up with Edith Holden and coffee. So a quick little dusting of ink around the outside here. You know, it doesn't have to be any kind of perfectly distressed thing. There we go. That one's done. We're going to put a label on here too, so we'll see where we can add a label on these. These will be easy because see how this picture goes all the way to the edge? All the way to the edge. I just had one little blank space right there, so that's why I put the label there. These have more blank space, so I won't have a trouble adding a label to these. I won't have trouble finding a spot. Okay, there we go. Pretty, pretty. Oh, I think I missed this side. I kind of have been doing what I call messy distressing. Like I don't want it perfect. I just want it to look like, you know, it's been sitting around and it aged all on its own. You can do the back too if you want, just a little, so that when you turn it over, it doesn't look like brand new, you know, just a little zip around. Nothing that takes any kind of time, but there you go. I just used the ink that was already on there. This one too, I'll see if I have enough ink to go all the way around and put a little bit of something on there, but not. See, I just went all the way around, didn't have to ink my brush again. Here we go. So now some labels, and we'll be done with these except for sewing, which I won't do on camera. So these are just different shades of kind of a greenish, brownish, tannish kind of look, and I think they go really well with the Edith Holden. And I have different sizes here. I have bigger ones, so those look too big to me. Actually, they might fit on here. I could put a bigger one on here. And this is not even big, this is small, but I have even smaller ones right here. You probably can't even see them. But I just printed these out at like 50% or something, these little labels, and cut them out and have them ready to go in my little label box. I have all my labels. I have tons of labels in this little tiny, this is it was a staple box, and I just have all my little labels in here, all kinds of, you know, there's tons in here because they're so small that you can fit tons in a little space like that. So let's see, what do I like better? I know I'm gonna like a little one over here because I don't want to cover up anything. This picture does cover more space, and I don't want to cover up any of that flower. This has this little flower down here, and this, I could put this one right over here, so I'm not covering up any flower, just a little piece of that leaf. So I don't want to put it down here because I'm covering up a flower right there. Maybe I'll put it over here. I really don't want to cover up that flower though. You know, this one's tinier. I think this one's tinier. See, I just can't cover up anything. That's why I had a lot of trouble last night. I got out butterflies and all kinds of stuff, lace to decorate these, and I was like, I did not want to put anything on there. I do not like covering up Edith Holden, apparently. So, see, I've just made pages out of these before. I've never made ephemera before, I don't think. So I was like, gosh, I really can't cover up these pictures. Not yet anyway. Maybe I will someday, but not right now. I can't do it. Okay, so just like to take the newness and the okay, that's all I can manage to cover up. One little spot, blank spot there. I can't even hardly pick these up. But yeah, that's all I can do. I can't cover up Edith Holden. And I think that there's probably a lot of other people like that out there, like me. Just, it's so pretty. How do you cover it up, right? I can't do it. Okay, there we go. My big decoration. Little tiny label in the corner. And that one's going to be sewn and it'll be done. Okay, now this one. See, I have a big blank space here, so we can put a big one on here. It's a big, small one now. There's that one, a little bit lighter, kind of grayish around the edges. I think I might like this one better though. This one's got that green that matches, kind of matches. See, it's like the same color as that branch, and it's got the same colors in here. Definitely needs to get some glue off me there. Definitely needs a little, there's some white edges here, even though you can probably can't see them on camera. I can see them here in person, just some white edges kind of glaring at me from cutting the paper. So there we go, no more white edges. Okay, I'm going to put this one right here, and so that can have a little, later on, a little something on there for whoever gets these in their journal. You can write a little date on there and then write something on the back or whatever somebody wanted to do. Put a number on there, a date, a name, or nothing. So there we go. All right, they both have a label and they're done. So that's all I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go get ready for work, but I hope you enjoyed. I'll be sewing those just like these, and this is all the other ones I did last night. 2 more of the index cards, which are 2 tags. Here's the other index card. And then, 3 index cards, and then 3 journal cards. So I got a lot done between last night and this morning. You can get these done pretty quick, as you can see, and you have some really pretty, really pretty. If you're using Edith Holden, you can't help it but be pretty, right? Can't go wrong. So lots of pretty little ephemera. So thanks for watching today. Hope you have a great day and happy crafting.